Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to a new video. Last night when I went to sleep, my laptop updated, and when I opened up my platform, I saw that there was no analysis, no nothing. So I had to quickly draw up all the charts again. I could have been angry, but I just thought, wait, this is perfect. So now I can make a video on how I analyze and you guys can see it as well. Now I'm not a professional, but this is what has been working for me for the past 3 years. So yeah, we're gonna start with gold. Oh yeah, smash the like button so that more people can see this and get the help they need. And then also, um, if you haven't yet, smash the subscribe button so that our community can grow. So the first thing I do is I look at I do a trend evaluation, and when I do a trend evaluation, that is normally when I zoom out the daily chart, and on the daily chart I get my highs and my lows. I see it perfectly. When you zoom out, you get the bigger picture. Now when I look at my highs, I will see they are getting higher. When I look at my lows, I see that they are also getting higher. But up until the, I think it's the 7th of August, yeah, up until the 7th of August 2020, the market has been making downwards moves, and this is very clear because if I do this, I'm into step 2 now, which would be getting my optimal trading points, optimal trading zones, which is just support and resistance. So now when I look at this, it is very clear that gold has been moving in a downwards move for the past few months. Now when I go to the 4-hour time frame, because that is obviously where the most clues would lie, because that is where price is like currently running. I can see that my moving average is above my price. So whenever price, another thing that I learned, sorry for just disrupting, another thing that I learned while on my journey of independence was that whenever price breaks above the moving average has a 144 setting. So whenever price moves above my moving average, then price is going to trend upwards, and whenever it moves below, it's going to trend downwards. But that isn't per se all the time. Everything has its flaw in forex. So yeah, and that I actually got taught that by someone that I met on the journey. CJ, if you're listening, shout out to you, my bro. So looking at where price is, right, you can see that price made a false breakout, went back up, created a new lower high, dropped below, closed below and everything, went up, created a new lower high, right? But what's important here for me is the fact that price is once again above what seems to be the support, right, or what is the support. And if I zoom out, you will see that every time price came to that level, it shot up. And when you look at this over here, false breakouts is not such a strange thing, right? So having taken that into consideration, nope, not working. Next high. There we go. So you might be asking me, why am I taking this point? I'm taking this point because that is a high point. And how do I come to the conclusion that that is a high point? Just get this going straight. So after a series of bullish candles, I get one big bearish candle, and I was thinking this is a bearish candle as well, but it's actually an indecision candle, and an indecision candle shows that, or is indicative of, the previous moves running out, right? The momentum of the previous move running out. So with that, I'm still gonna take into consideration the support though, because what I'm looking before I enter a sell is I'm looking for price to like break below this level, but not only break below, retest it, and then once at the retest like it was here, then I would look for a bearish trend line confirmation, because then it's like if it rejects that level and it continues dropping, then it actually shows, I don't say that there's an urgency from the sellers to get into the market, but it's just indicative of price further dropping. So as soon as I get that retest, that is where I'm going to be in. And one thing that I'm expecting price to do here is to fall a little bit onto the support, and then once at the support, that is when I would be expecting price to move up. So as soon as I get that movement, right, that is when I would be expecting price to go up. Now if you take into consideration what I said earlier about the taking trades in the opposite direction, the initial move, I am not gonna jump for that. I'm rather gonna wait for price to develop a bit. And what I mean with develop a bit, I mean this is a high, right? So I'm gonna wait for price to break that high, retest that high, right, and then move up. Then when it retests that second high that was made, that is when I will be looking to get into the move from the bottom to the top. I'm just being honest with you guys here, I would be riding a counter trend trade, and there would be massive risks involved for me when I do that. But you know, if it goes down, or where I'm expecting it to go down from is this level, then I'm actually more interested in the downwards move. So as soon as it gets here, that is when I will be looking for that further drop to the support again. But for now, this is the move that might happen. Price might also just reject from this. Price might also just reject from this level, as it almost did over here. So it's always good to wait for price to tell you what to do, or yes, for price to show you what price is doing, and then you react to that. That is best. The next one is Usdzar. And when I look at the rand to dollar chart, right, or the dollar to rand chart, right, I will see that price has been making lower highs and lower lows for this past time. Now one thing, if you look at past structure, you will see that price, wherever it goes, right, it would create these small consolidation zones before it rushes back to the move that it wants to make. So taking this into consideration, I'm seeing that exact same thing happen and developing over here. So because price is in a downtrend, naturally I would be expecting a sell. And if I get that, right, let me just show you what I'm expecting when I talk about the retests. So I'm gonna base an entry here off what has already happened in the market, and the market will do the same thing over and over and over again, provided it's in the correct trend direction. So I'm looking to go downwards, right? So what I'm expecting to happen here has already happened here. So price broke below the zone, right? And you guys know for a fact that I always look out for retests, because the retest will tell you when the market is mature enough to fall, right? Now when you look to your left hand side, you will see that price also broke below this, and then it just continued running up. That is a false breakout, but this is a validated breakout because price broke below, closed a few candles below it, went back up to retest that level, and then dropped. Now when I say I am looking for price action to tell me when to enter at the resistance area, which is over here, right? This means over here I'm gonna look for a chance or an opportunity to enter. I'm gonna drop to the 4-hour shortly so that you can just get it from a 4-hour perspective as well, because ultimately the 4-hour is where I enter. So now that you know the resistance after a breakout, the area that broke out, right? So this is the area that got hit with a breakout. The area where the breakout was made has to be retested, right? It's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be immediately. It can even be after a couple of days, as you said. It can even be after a couple of weeks. But a retest for me has to happen to confirm the downward move. I'm just gonna go to the 4-hour and just show it to you there so that you can see how it all would have gone down. Now, price broke out, created the low, right? At this low, I would follow price along the wicks to the upside, right? Now, you guys have heard me talking about, for a very long time, you guys have heard me talking about the breakout and the confirmation candle. Well, here is it. It's now. Here it's now. So, I have my breakout. Sorry for my broken compose English. I can only talk right English when I'm talking to girls. So sorry. Anyway, here's the breakout, and then here's the confirmation candle. Now, at this confirmation candle point, this is where you sell. This is where you sell. And what makes this a confirmation candle? Firstly, the fact that price closed below the trend line, number one. The fact that price closed below the trend line, the candle closed below the trend line. And number two, the fact that the candle doesn't touch the trend line. That's the most important thing. It mustn't touch the trend line. Then it's clear. You can take that sell. So now, it would obviously, your next question would be, where do I place my stop loss? And this counts for every single sell that I take in the market. This is my resistance area, right? There's a line over here. This is my resistance. So remember, resistance is never one line. It's always a zone. This is my resistance. Now, what I'm always going to do is, I'm going to go to the highest point of the candle, and I'm going to take a few pips. Now, Usdchf, the pips is insane. As you can see, it's a small space already. So I'm already risking like a heck lot. But I would give it anything from 500 pip space, 300, 500, sometimes 800. In Usdchf's case, 931. Then at that point, right, I would have my stop loss. Now the reason why my stop loss is there is because if it was close to the line, or if it was on the line, you can see price will catch it. Price will catch it. If it was on your resistance, price will catch it. But if you put it above your resistance and above your highest candle with a few pips to spare, that gives price a movement, breathing space, right? So just so this would be where you entered, right? At the close of that candle, this would be where you entered, right? That would be your stop loss. Now, profits, that is just a byproduct of how well you do your analysis and how patient you are in the game. But one thing I always do is I would go to the bigger time frames, right? Now, at that time, price was there. So then what I would do is I would zoom out to the maximum, and then I would look to my left hand side in previous price action, and I would say, and I ask myself, where is the next support, right? And this would be the next area of support, right? And as you can see, when price broke it, it took a while, but it eventually retested it. So then that is where my stop loss would have been. So at that time, right, if I just have to switch back to the 4-hour time frame quickly, let me go back to my entry. At this time, right, this is why having a sound risk to reward solution and a money management solution, that is why it always comes in handy, because now the market has confirmed you don't have to enter straight away. You know where the stop loss is, you know where you want to put the stop loss, you know exactly where you want to put your take profit. So what do you do now? You do a risk to reward. Price has closed there. I am risking 3,100. Let's keep it to 3,000. Let's say 3. No, let's be factual. I am risking 3,118 pips, right? For 7,412. Now, automatically, because of your money, this is where money management comes into play now. Let's say you have $100, right? $100 requires you, or according to my my lot size to money ratio, 1 cent per $100. So that $100 allows me to trade with 0.01. Now, because I know that my stop loss is already 3,118 pips, I know before I enter, because this trade can go wrong. Before I enter, I know already my stop loss is going to be at the value of $31 plus broker's commission, which would be spread. So I know before I enter already, I know for a fact that my risk is $31.18 plus the spread, right? Now, when I take it back to the finances, $100 minus $31, that will leave me with $68 something. And am I ready to risk 31% of my account? No. Regardless if this thing goes right, you have to stick to that money management principles, because at the end of the day, right, if you risked it, yes, it went our way now, but if you risked it and that trade went wrong, that's a $30 chunk just there. And another hint, gold and Usdzar and Gbpusd and Eurusd, you don't trade those stuff with little than $100. Your account will shit itself when that trade goes against you, I promise you. So that is just my my regimen around entering trades and placing my stop losses and my take profits, right? Just really wanted to show you guys that. So moving along onto Usdchf, when I zoom out, I will see that price has been making a downtrend, meaning it's been making lower highs and lower lows. So one thing I'm gonna take into consideration, right, is this zone over here, because I'm just fixing it quickly. So this area, right, the reason why I'm choosing this area is because previously the market came there, shot back up clean. Then the most important thing is when price broke it, the market kept on retesting and staying below the zone. Yes, there was a breakout, but this breakout doesn't actually phase price, because it is a false breakout. And why it's a false breakout? Because price traded above the level, didn't retest and continue with the upside move. It actually came back down and traded below the level again, which then when the market came there again, it retested and fell, retested and fell, retested and fell. And at this point where price is right now, it looks like the market is going to do the same thing. So yesterday the market closed with a bearish pin bar. I'm not actually sure if you can call that a bearish pin bar as much as a bearish hammer perhaps, but the thing is, this candle closed really bearish, and it closed strong bearish. So one thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna identify the last area that price broke through, because obviously that zone will come into play, just for future reference. And then okay, that zone is correct. And then the other thing that I'm gonna do is, right now, like I said, the market made that bearish thing, right? It made that bearish move, right? So now, because we are in a downturn, and because the market has been making in the bigger time frame of things, because the market has been making lower lows and lower highs, I'm still gonna favor that bearish move. And one thing I'm gonna do is, boom, I'm gonna get my Fibonacci. So in my Fibonacci, I'm gonna mark down my 50 and my 60%, and this would now be the level that I am taking trades on, or taking trades from. Now, another thing that I would like to make clear with you guys is the Fibonacci actually has a perfect solution for your stop losses and your take profits. So as you can see, my Fibonacci is modified a little bit, and I actually had zones which stretches much further into the minus, because as soon as you get that 50 to 61.8 rejection, where would price run next? And as you can see, I've made provision for just one zone that price will run to next if it gets that rejection, right? And as you can see, very often, if my zones are in the right place, if my Fibonacci has been drawn correctly, you can see that this zones will fall hand in hand with current market structure. So meaning, if price went up and it gave me the rejection I want, that I actually want, right, and it doesn't fall out of nowhere like it's doing now and working on my nerves, I'm gonna expect my first movement to be into here. And that actually works very well, because the next support level is over there, the next significant support level is over there, and we know for a fact that we want to take profit before price gets to the support level, because as it gets on the support level, that is when price will jump up from that. So having this zone, that's good enough for me. Another thing that could be done if you do not want to wait, and like once again, as you can see, the Fibonacci's play perfectly, because as you can see, this is the 50 and the 61.8 zone, right? And then this is one of the last low points that the market made. So it's very clear. If you look at it this way, it's very clear and not that hard to understand, right? You just have to follow a few simple basic steps and stick to it. That's all. You just have to do the basics. And this is probably going to sound a cliche, because I do not ever want to compare myself or compare my methodology to that of Warren Buffett, but Warren Buffett has been doing the basics for such a long time. Right now, with the age of social media, when you look at stocks, like if I'm going to take Dogecoin for an example, Elon Musk made one tweet into Dogecoin and that price soared, right? Warren Buffett doesn't pay any attention to that. What Warren does is he looks for the financials of that specific company. Then once he gets the financials and he knows what the return rate of that company is, he makes a decision as to if he can invest, and if he invests, how much. Right? Now, that is just what he does. He doesn't have a laptop or a computer. He doesn't. He doesn't even know how to use one because of not needing one. But there isn't any of that in his office. The only thing he has is a telephone whereby people like can call him and stuff. But Warren has been doing the basics for so long, and he's been doing it good. It's not that you are doing the basics. It's not as simple as walking or as simple as talking. It's actually doing it with mind, you know. So one thing you can do is you can do this, but then you just get to the conclusion. Okay, now let me just go and see. Fix this line up proper. There we go. So as you can see, all of these candles, they're still touching, and if this candle, this red candle, closes below, that would be a breakout candle, and the candle after that candle would then be the confirmation candle. So if this candle that comes after this one closes below and is a bearish candle and doesn't touch the trend line, you can enter. It would be, oh no, don't enter. It's just a confirmation based on my and how I trade, based on what I showed you previously there with Usdzar. So don't just enter randomly. Look, check if it fits into your wallet. If it doesn't, skip it out. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys how I'm trading. Yeah, I'm a technical trader. I don't do systems, I don't do robots, I don't do indicators that often. There's this other indicator. Let's just show it to you guys. So this was like my training wheels when I started, because to me it was like, okay, you think that is a resistance? Well, actually it is a resistance. And when I would get the green dot, it would actually be like, okay, this is a support, or support is forming here. Get your analysis in check, brother. So yeah, that is just what I've been using when I started out. And as you can see, it's actually a nice addition to the arsenal, right? It's a very nice addition. So I got my support over here, and wait, I actually want to show you, like, the market keeps on falling into place every time. So over here, right, we have a retest here, and boom, it comes into play again. It came into play again, right? But now one thing that we need to consider is the fact that a high has been created. Since price dropped from here, a high has been created. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna like identify that high. I'm not gonna fall that hard for price and its movements yet. So when I get to eventually the when price gets to breaking the zone, right, that is when I would look at a retest and then a jump up to this level maybe. So GBP USD, this is just what I'm expecting, man. I'm also seeing a possible head and shoulders that could form if you do this. But yeah, and head and shoulders, like I said earlier, head and shoulders is good for indicating when trends might change, when movements might change. So yeah, that is what I'm expecting for GBP USD. Just get this out the way. Either breakout at the top or breakout at the bottom, but either way I am gonna wanna buy, because that is where the market has been moving for this past time. Euro USD, zoom out fully. What am I seeing? I am seeing higher highs, higher lows. So now I know I need to buy on step 1 already. I know I need to buy. So now I like got the support, and as you can see, it actually retested really well. Now I got that move. So I got my resistance, what I think is my resistance, and I got my support that is on the daily. Now I would just want to see from the 4-hour time frame how things are actually looking. Sorry, I just had to check my phone very quickly. Yeah, now that I'm in 4-hour mode, sorry, the time frame, sorry. Now that I'm in the 4-hour time frame, right? One thing that could happen, seeing that price is just falling, right? Or it's not actually just falling, it's actually a zone here. Okay, so as you can see, price made a low, made a false breakout, and then went back up, right? So what could happen, because it didn't retest when it broke here, and because it didn't retest when it broke price here, what could happen is price could be doing that, because this just, yeah, there wasn't any retest on either side, right? But this chart is slowly starting to form, I wouldn't say a downward movement, because ultimately channels, they, when they are like this, they do get broken out at the top, and when they are an upwards price channel, then sometimes it breaks out at the bottom. So ultimately I would just wait for price to react to my analysis and see how that goes, because ultimately if you jump in front of price, that is like you jumping in front of a moving train. It's not gonna work well out. It's not gonna work out well. Sorry, man. Yeah, so like I said, I can't, don't know why I can only talk proper English when I'm talking to kinders. Usdjpy, the main thing was it Usdjpy. I think it was Usdjpy that claimed my money as well. That took my stop loss. So I hit stop loss yesterday. Oh no, it was USDcad. I hit stop loss on Euro USD, and then I hit stop loss on USDcad as well. And I closed flipping USD and I lost too. Sorry. So when I look at the daily time frame, price has been making higher highs, higher lows. The uptrend has been broken for a while now. And so this one is always a little bit confusing. Let me just get you right there. Slope a little bit. There we go. So yeah, I got the support, got my my resistance, and as you can see, this is where price starts listening to it, and then there we get the breakout, right? On that breakout, you will see is a retest. Right? So what happened here? Breakout, retest. I'm basically expecting to happen here. But now it's not just about looking for the retest, it's about knowing where to the retest is going. So for me, just get my crosshair. If this is where prices are right now, right? You can see it's on, if you look to your left hand side, you can see it's on a couple of highs. It's sitting on a couple of highs. And when you do this a little bit higher, just a little bit higher to the next high, that is when you can, semi like get a gauge for where you want to. I think I'm gonna use this area. There we go. So now I know that price must drop. And I'm not just saying, oh, price must drop, price must drop. What's giving me a clue that price might drop is the fact that we have all of these green candles, all of these bullish candles, and then we have a hammer, a bearish hammer, just hanging there in this momentum. So once just okay, and if I can show you an example of a bearish hammer messing things up for the bulls, here's a bearish hammer, boom, here's another bearish hammer, boom. You see what I'm saying? And as you can see, these retraces didn't last long. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting price to drop. I'm expecting price to drop into that zone, and then when it gets in that zone, that is when I would be looking for my confirmation. Now I'm gonna take it to the 4 hour now. So a confirmation would look something like this, right? A bullish confirmation. I got my high point, connecting it to another high point, following price all the way down. Here we get the breakout candle, and then after the breakout candle we have the confirmation candle. Why is it a confirmation candle? It's a confirmation candle because number one, it's bullish, and number two, it doesn't touch the trend line. Where would I put my stop loss? Like I said, below support with a few pips obviously. And then where would I put my take profit? In front of my resistance. Now when you take this into consideration at that close, when you do your risk to reward and your money management, you are risking 472 pips to make 1322 pips. So you know for a fact you are risking $4.60 plus $4.60 plus the spread, and here you stand to win $13.22 minus the spread. But yeah, and the spread is just a few cents. So that is what I'm expecting to happen here has happened here, and that is exactly what I'm gonna be looking forward to. So as soon as, go back to the daily, as soon as USDJPY gets in this zone, as soon as it gets in the zone, that is when I will be looking to do this to it. Hey, the culprit that took my money. Well, luckily I'm not a revenge trader, so you can just analyze the heck out of it. So what do we see with Usdcad? With Usdcad, we are seeing that price is in a downtrend. Price has been making lower highs and lower lows for quite some time now, and when I do this is definitely something worth taking into consideration. Postman is here. Okay, so now I can clearly see that price is in a downtrend because I've put it into a channel. When you put things into a channel, it just makes so much more sense. So I'm going to switch to my 4-hour time frame now. Just get you up and going there. Okay, now you are perfect. Few miss. Okay, cool. So seeing that price is where it is, right? I feel like price is just continuing on its downtrend now. I bought. I can't remember where I bought again. Um, but yeah. Oh no, yeah. This is where I bought. This is where I bought. So I bought over here because of this engulfing over here, and then price just showed me flames. So having done that, this I can be angry or I can learn from it, right? So point number one thing that I didn't see is this is a perfect fib. Let me just 61, 80, and 50. Perfect fib, right? And another thing, now you can also see this very clearly. This what's happening here, I'm gonna explain it to you now. You will see now. We get the break and then we get the retest as well of this, and now it's on its way back down again. Now I'm thinking that price will just move up until here before it starts shooting up. Here I go with my counter trends again. See how easy it is to fall prey for this stuff, guys. So one thing that's making me believe that price with Usdcad is gonna go up now is not only the fact that this is one of the next levels that price could be going up from, and if you look at to your left hand side, you will see that this is where price clustered really bad. Just gonna delete that. Just hold this into thought, right? Hold that position there into thought. So I got my 50 and my 61.80 right there, and as you can see, the destination of the 61.80 here was most now the minus 61.80 and 50 zone over here. But if you pay careful attention, you will see that the big Fibonacci falls in perfect place with a smaller fib. And when I take this into consideration as well, let me just mark it. When I take this into consideration as well, just take off these things because now we already know about the fib zones that's coming into play. Just want to take this off. Here's also head and shoulders. And the thing is, resistance to the downward move is being showed. Yes, we have that retest over there, but price needs to break this level. And as you can see, price has been, I'm not saying price has been having a difficult time breaking that price, but price is still trading above that level. So I'm gonna wait for price to do what it does, and then I will react based on that, right? But one thing I'm not gonna wanna miss out on is the opportunity to analyze for a buy. So just in case the market reacts from this shoulder, because right now if I have to do this shoulder, head, lang kop, and another shoulder. So if I have to take this into consideration also, that would also be a move that is favoring the bulls, and that is actually a move that I've identified with Usdcad since the beginning of the week now. But my stupid ass thought Usdcad was gonna run from here, so I took that engulfing into consideration over there. So yeah, that's Usdcad, and let's go to Audusd now. So on Audusd, do pretty much the same thing. Do my trend evaluation. I will now see that price is in an uptrend with a little bit of a retrace, and when I zoom in, I will see that price is currently above the resistance. Price hasn't closed above the resistance yet, So let's just give it a chance to do what it needs to do. Another thing I want to do is just measure my fib, get my fib into place, and as you can see, price is slowly approaching the fib, right? Now next thing I want to do is I want to identify the support, the first support that price will meet if it had to fall down from that resistance area over there. So now I know for a fact that I am looking for price to fall, right? And my thing is this, even though I'm waiting for the fall, it's not that I'm gonna take the fall, right? I should just wait for price to get into this level, because this is where the support is. So as soon as price approaches this level, that is when I will be looking for buys. That is when I will be looking for buys, because if you look at price action, you will see that price has been making higher highs and higher lows for quite some time. So I'm not gonna not take the uptrend into consideration. I'm just gonna wait for the retrace to fully complete before I jump on anything. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so I see we are 46 minutes in and we have analyzed 8 pairs so far. So I'm gonna call it a day, and I will probably upload another video probably tomorrow or Friday. I still need to get a schedule for this channel, but I'd really like to just get out as much information that I know, like to get out there as possible, so that you guys can use it. You don't have to use it, don't use it, I'm just sharing what has been working for me. So if you came this far, thank you for watching. Smash the like button so that more people can get useful content like this, and then also subscribe if you haven't yet. If you are new here, subscribe. I welcome you to my channel, and then I will see you guys in the next video. The next video will most probably be me defining a concept like support and resistance, or defining trend lines, but I will most definitely make another video, and as soon as I have finished it, I will post it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.